for winter 2026, we will bring the surprise. Not saturation, not continuation, but a big leap ahead. Kirin 2026 is here. 6 years, 381 chips, serving different industry sectors and markets and customers.
Last week in Shanghai, a massive announcement sent shockwaves through the global tech industry. The Chinese electronics giant, Huawei, revealed they had pulled off an engineering miracle. They didn't just bypass a severe trade ban, they broke through the most fundamental boundary in modern computing.
On the chip side, Huawei cannot, and no Chinese company can legally import EUV equipment from ASML. So again, that's forced them to innovate.
To understand why this is a massive deal, you have to look at what happened back in 2019. The United States government cut Huawei off from the global chip supply chain. Specifically, they blocked Huawei from buying specialized manufacturing equipment from a Dutch company called ASML. ASML is the only company on Earth capable of building the machines that print the world's sharpest, most microscopic computer chips. The entire Western tech world made a confident prediction. Without these forbidden machines, Huawei's technology would permanently plateau. The gap between China and the rest of the world would widen every single year until it became completely impossible to close. But Huawei just delivered their definitive answer. They didn't find a way to buy the forbidden machines. Instead, they completely changed how a computer chip is designed from scratch. They call this new architecture LogicFolding. By shifting from a flat plane to a three-dimensional structure, they achieved a massive 53% jump in computing density in a single generation. They did this using older manufacturing equipment that the rest of the world claimed had run out of structural headroom years ago. This isn't a minor, clever workaround. It is a fundamental shift in how humanity builds brainpower for machines. To understand why this change is so radical, we have to look at the invisible problem plaguing every phone, laptop, and server on the planet right now. For the past 60 years, the tech world lived by a golden rule called Moore's Law. It wasn't an actual law of physics, but a reliable business observation. Every 2 years, engineers would figure out a way to shrink components so they could pack twice as many transistors onto a single microchip. More transistors meant more raw computing speed at a lower cost. A transistor is just a microscopic electronic switch. Think of it as a gate. When you apply a tiny voltage, the gate opens, and electrons flow through. When you remove it, the gate closes. 60 years ago, a single transistor was the size of your thumbnail. Today, a modern smartphone chip packs roughly 20 billion transistors into a space smaller than a postage stamp. Each individual switch is just 3 nanometers long, more than 2,000 times smaller than a single human red blood cell. But humanity has finally hit a physical brick wall with this approach. When you make a transistor too small, the physical channel becomes so incredibly thin that electrons don't behave like predictable drops of water anymore. Instead, they act like ghosts. They experience a phenomenon called quantum tunneling, where they literally phase straight through the closed gate. When electrons leak through a switch that is supposed to be turned off, the chip becomes utterly useless. Worse, as the switches get smaller, the copper wires connecting them must get narrower. Narrower wires create massive electrical resistance. Think of it like squeezing a massive highway down into a single, tight country lane. The traffic jam gets so severe that signals slow to a crawl. In advanced modern chips, the electrical delay caused by this cramped wiring is 10 times larger than the actual switching time of the transistors themselves. This is exactly why phone and computer speeds have largely plateaued around 3 to 4 gigahertz for years. We kept doubling the number of switches, but the internal traffic jam prevented the chip from actually running any faster. This is where Huawei's concept of logic folding entirely reframes the problem. Instead of obsessing over how to make the individual switches smaller in space, Huawei's engineers focused entirely on optimizing time. They asked a radical question. What if we stop trying to lay the entire city out on a flat, single-story plane and start building upward? Traditional microchips are laid out like a massive, single-story factory floor. If a component on the far left side needs to send data to a component on the far right side, the signal has to travel across a long, horizontal wire, fighting massive resistance the entire way. LogicFolding takes that exact same circuit layout and folds it into a multi-story skyscraper. Components that used to be miles apart on a flat plane are now positioned directly above and below one another. Instead of traveling across a long, congested horizontal highway, the signal simply takes a high-speed vertical elevator straight to the next next floor. The total distance the data path has to travel is slashed by an average of 60%. The absolute core of this engineering breakthrough is what is known as the bonding pitch, the physical distance between the vertical connectors tying the layers together. For a 3D chip to work smoothly without creating internal lag, these vertical elevators must be placed incredibly close together. The absolute limit of global manufacturing was widely accepted to be around 10 microns. Most engineers believed it was physically impossible to go any smaller without the layers misaligning and ruining the chip. Huawei announced they have successfully pushed this vertical distance down to just 2 microns, and they are doing it with practically 100% manufacturing yield. Now, you might ask, hasn't the tech industry been stacking chips for years? Yes, but there is a massive structural difference between standard 3D stacking and true logic folding. With standard stacking, which you see in high-performance graphics cards or specialized memory chips, companies design separate flat chips first, completely optimized for a 2D plane. Then, at the final packaging stage, they simply glue them on top of each other to save physical space. The internal architecture of the chip itself never actually accounts for the vertical dimension. Logic folding happens at the very beginning of the layout process. Software analyzes the blueprint to find the exact signal paths causing timing bottlenecks, the specific routes bottlenecking the chip's total speed. The engineers then explicitly fold those exact paths vertically, optimizing for the third dimension from day one. Let's look at the raw performance metrics, keeping in mind that these are the initial figures presented by the team. Huawei's previous generation flat chip, built using standard methods, had a density of roughly 155 million transistors per square millimeter. It took their engineering team 3 long years of intense development just to crawl up to that number from 126 million. That slow progress showed everyone that their traditional geometric chip scaling had hit an absolute dead end without Western equipment. By implementing logic folding into their upcoming Kirin 2026 chip, which ships this autumn, the density vaults to 238 million transistors per square millimeter. That is an astonishing 53% leap in density in a single generation, achieved on the exact same manufacturing equipment. To put that in context, the absolute global leader in semiconductors, TSMC, hits about 292 million transistors on their bleeding-edge, multi-billion-dollar line. Huawei has significantly closed that gap without access to a single piece of new Western machinery. But the downstream performance metrics are where this becomes relevant to everyday life. Inside every chip is a clock signal, a steady electrical heartbeat that fires billions of times per second to keep every single calculation perfectly synchronized. Because a flat chip is so wide, the heartbeat signal degrades as it travels to the outer edges. To fix this, engineers traditionally have to place thousands of tiny buffers along the route to boost the signal. These buffers waste massive amounts of space and drain battery life. Because logic folding routes the heartbeat vertically through a tight skyscraper instead of across a sprawling city, Huawei's new chip requires 50% fewer clock buffers. That means half the space and half the power are wasted just keeping the chip's internal heartbeat synchronized. Furthermore, because data travels significantly shorter distances, the internal lag, known as clock skew, is reduced by 25%. This allows the chip to be pushed safely to a headline speed of 3.1 GHz. Before last week, the entire global tech industry had written off this milestone as completely unreachable for a sanctioned company. Running a mobile processor reliably above 3 GHz was supposed to require advanced Dutch lithography machines. There was simply no other known route. Looking further down the line, Huawei's stated roadmap aims to deliver a 5 GHz mobile processor by 2031 using this vertical design. Today, top-tier mobile chips peak around 4 GHz, while desktop computers hit 5 to 6 GHz only by drawing massive amounts of electricity and utilizing heavy cooling fans that would melt inside a smartphone. Delivering a sustained 5 GHz inside a compact, low-power mobile device would completely reorder consumer technology. Of course, this technology faces immediate, massive challenges. First, the global software ecosystem for chip design was built entirely for flat, 2D geometry. The specialized CAD and layout software tools required to design complex 3D logic folding at a mass scale largely do not exist yet. Huawei has built their own preliminary software, but a major reason they are announcing this so loudly is to convince the broader tech industry to adopt and co-develop these new tools. Second, there is a severe thermal management problem. When you stack live active circuitry directly on top of each other, heat gets trapped in the middle layers. If you cannot extract that heat efficiently, the chip will cook itself. Overcoming this thermal barrier will be the defining technical battle between now and 2031. Ultimately, most global analysts are framing this story as a classic geopolitical chess match, a sanctioned company finding a clever way to evade Western trade blocs. While that narrative is certainly true, it completely misses the grander, more significant shift. Traditional flat chip scaling was already reaching its absolute physical limit for everyone, including Apple, Intel, and TSMC. You cannot make a transistor smaller than a single, discrete silicon atom. The global giants have been building their technologies from a position of absolute abundance, pouring hundreds of billions of dollars into squeezing the last few drops of performance out of flat space. Huawei was forced to innovate from a position of absolute scarcity because they had no other choice. They bypassed the flat wall entirely and took a shortcut through a higher dimension. If these performance benchmarks hold up under real-world scrutiny this autumn, this won't just be China's answer to a trade ban. It will mark the official opening of the next major chapter in human computing infrastructure, arriving early from an entirely unexpected direction.